This video shows you how to do chapter 15 in the residential Revit textbook, which is all about site design and topography. So you want to start with your starter file. I have the chapter 12 starter file actually open, which is fine. That's the order we're doing it. So you want to come down here, and this is the first time you've ever done this. So in your floor plans view, you're going to go to one called site plan. So the site plan is all the exterior part of your house. I'm going to zoom out. And now under the properties bar here, you're going to switch to view range. Way down here. What you're going to see here is at the top of this floor plan, if you want to call it a floor plan, although it's a site plan, is 200 feet. Normally a floor plan is at 4 feet off of the level. So we are actually going to go 200 feet off of the level. So nothing will be cut until it's above 200 feet. Now you want to set right here under view depth level, rather than foundation, you want to put it to the bottom of footing, just so that we're seeing everything that's in the house, including the footing. So that's it. I'm going to hit OK. Okay, the next thing you're going to do is hide your roof, because right now you'll see later, but you're going to pick points on your exterior wall, and you cannot see your exterior wall if the roof's showing. So pick the roof, and you should know this by now. Go to the sunglasses, and you can say hide category. If you hide category, that'll hide every roof type that you have in there. I'm going to do that. Okay, I'm going to make one slight change here. The textbook wanted you to have BO footing, but as you can see, this right here is your footing. And you need to pick the exterior wall. So I'm a little concerned you're going to mispick when you have the footing show. So let's go back into view range and change this to the top of the footing. And now you'll see the footing does not appear in your floor plan anymore. Okay, now we're ready to create what's called the site object, which is basically just the ground around the building. So you're going to go up here to this tab called Massing and Site. And right here, this button called Topo Surface. I'm going to click on that. Okay, now you might remember, I'm going to show you an elevation view. If I scroll in here, the foundation starts at -1, 4.5, while the actual first floor is at 0. So you actually don't want your first points to be placed at 0 feet, because otherwise you would have dirt in this area where you actually have wood, which you never want dirt in contact with the wood because it'll rot it. So I just wanted to show you that. You don't have to go to that view. I'm going to go back to site plan. So we're going to place points. So the elevation right now is set to 0, 0. The only place you're going to want to do that is at the garage, because that's where you need your car to be able to drive in at the floor level. So I'm going to put 2 points where the garage wall is, and that's it. And now I'm going to change this to -1.6, which means that the next point we place will be 1.5 feet down from what we call the 0 level, which is the first floor level. So with that set, you're going to pick all the points. Let me show you. This is the textbook view. You're going to pick all of these corner points on the building. So you have 16 points. So I'm going to just go through and pick every point that was shown. Make sure you're snapping to the outside of the building, because you don't want dirt inside your house. And these lines that are appearing as I click are what are just called topo surface lines. And they're lines that have the same height. So they're basically contour lines, if you know how a topo map works. And now I'm going to change this elevation to -2.6, so it's 1 foot down from the points I just placed. And I'm trying to zoom out. There we go. And now you want to put some points out around your building. It's a little bit random, but this basically defines the perimeter of your outside surface, or your yard, I guess. Okay, you are now done creating your yard or your site. I'm going to hit the green check and let's look at the 3D view. And now you can see you have basically a yard or earth around it. It slopes up to the garage so that you can actually drive your car in, and then it slopes back down, which is pretty standard. All right, so now I'm going to do a 3D section view. And I'm going to cut into the house. Let me go a little bit farther back. Okay, so what I wanted to show you is this hatch pattern here shows that there's dirt everywhere inside and underneath your house. Actually, let me drag it back a little bit so you don't have there. So now we have dirt under the garage, which is actually what we want, but we also have dirt filling in the basement, which is no good. So you're going to go back to your site plan and add what's called a building pad. So the building pad is like excavating the ground out beneath your building. So let me go back to the site plan. I'm going to go back to the massing and site tab, and now we're going to hit building pad. Okay, so what we're going to do is I'm going to zoom in, and you are going to pick walls. I'll show you the textbook view. You want to pick the inside of just your basement walls, not the garage walls, because if you remember, you want dirt under your garage. So that didn't go well. I'll go back and fix that in a minute. And if you made the same mistake I did, you can simply delete this little bit of line. Now flip this one, and that should work. Oh wait, sorry. I don't know what I was thinking. I'm going to delete this, and you need to pick these walls as well. Okay. So now if I, the last thing, you want to change the height of the pad. Let me see where that is. So right here, you don't want it on the first floor. You want this to be basement, and you're going to have to edit this type, because right here, this pad is 1 foot thick, which is really thick, and it's gonna protrude above your basement floor. So you want to just change this to a 1/2 inch. And you don't need to duplicate. You can just change the pad straight up. And now you can just hit the green check. And now if you go back to your 3D view, you'll see that there's now no longer dirt in your basement. And you cannot see the building pad, which is good. So that's the building pad. Okay, last you want to add a driveway and a walkway. So I'm going to switch back to my site plan. Zoom out, and you can see this is the outside of our boundary. So you're going to want to say subregion, and now you literally just draw the walls. So I'm going to pick the outside of our garage wall, and then I'm just going to draw the rest of our driveway. So it would be good if you snapped it to the points where you had the 0. And now I'm just going to close that off. And because I picked that wall, I'm going to have to trim. And now if you hit the green check, go out and look. Well, turn off your 3D view. Or sorry, turn off your section box. And now I have this. So now you can change the material of this surface. Okay, I'm going to run out of time here. Let me see if I can get this done. Otherwise, I'll go to a second video. So you're going to want to change this to asphalt. Site asphalt. This you can change to grass, and you're going to want to add in a sidewalk as well. For extra credit, you can put a stair and railings on going to the door, and some trees in the outside.